Okay.
And then I moved to San Francisco.
Nice, man. Are you in New York? Or are you still in San Francisco?
No, I'm in New York.
Cool.
So I moved here like a year and a half ago. We actually
You've been in all parts now.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Love to learn more about what you guys are doing.
Sure. So, got a little of the background. I worked as a software developer, went back to school, did a PhD in genetics, neuroscience, bioinformatics at Columbia.
Yeah.
Really got into data science, machine learning, saw that science basically loves data, generates tons of data, but yet, ironically, a lot of the decision making isn't data driven. So saw a big opportunity to make an impact. That's where Bering started. Sam and I met about a year ago at a program that took STEM PhDs and transitioned them into careers in data science. We really hit it off. First day, similar taste in technology, and we're working on this for about a year.
So were both of you guys doing your PhD and then pursuing data science?
Yeah, exactly. So I did my PhD in math, and when I left academia, I went to tech because I've always been doing stuff with computers and was coding as a kid. And while I was there, I really saw like the data was great. Data science was a union of like math and statistics.
Yeah. So were you guys doing data science at companies previously?
Yeah, I was too. And Greg went right from school.
I did it
Cool.
within
He did it
my
at-
degree.
Yeah, the company that acquired us, they have a data science team, and
Mhm.
the guy who heads it is a PhD from Caltech, and they have some really smart guys. But I bring that up because he seems to have a similar background as you
Mhm.
guys. Like he was going this neurocognitive
Yep.
science route, and then
Yep.
realized he wanted to find opportunities with information, and
Right.
that was going to be really interesting to him.
Yeah, I mean, academia is kind of broken in a lot of ways, right? There are a lot of smart people that want to have an impact and do analytics, really engage with data. But a lot of times you join these labs and you get stuck into a very narrow sliver of a question, and it's not as fulfilling as you would hope.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
So Greg's project actually gave people the ability to do that who like didn't have any bioinformatics background. So the tool he built was precisely that, giving people access to like a data tool and to do stuff. So
analyze whole genome sequencing data with no bioinformatics
So,
knowledge.
is that what your product does?
No,
or-
no. So,
Can you,
no.
can you help me
Yeah, sure.
understand
Definitely.
what
Yeah,
problem you're
of
solving
course,
for?
Of course. So we're the data analytics platform for science. So
Okay.
we help you navigate and evaluate scientists and their research.
Okay.
Okay, so you are a department head at NYU or at Pfizer. You want to evaluate your faculty for resource allocation, funding, hiring, tenure decisions. You don't have very efficient ways of doing that today. And if you're a grant agency, a lot of that money, billions every year, is given out through grant-based models. So scientists spend 40% of their time writing grants. So it's all the money that we're funding them for as
Writing
taxpayers.
like by
Actually
even
writing.
applying for grants?
Apply.
yeah, just
yeah.
writing like these huge papers and papers of descriptions of what they're doing. And
Of what they're doing. Okay.
What they plan to do. Right?
Well, so they're not even
Yeah.
doing it.
Well, so it's kind of,
Is that a waste of time? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, well, of course, it's a waste of resources, right? We want them to be thinking, not asking for money 40% of their time, right? Also, they're not sharing their best ideas because their peers are actually evaluating them for these grants. You're not going to give your best idea to your direct competitor so that they can run with it, which
Right.
happens all the time also. So a lot of the stuff that gets funded is very conservative for that reason. And they also have to follow through on their grants, so it's a big problem.
Yeah.
So with our model, grant agencies could evaluate scientists based on what they've done in the past and have a data-driven way of evaluating candidates and give to them and let them take risks.
Can you give an example?
Well, just that example right there, like instead of saying that you're going to do some kind of a cancer experiment, we see that in your past you've done 20 papers that have been super innovative. We can just fund you based on that. And we know that you know how to
So they
spend money.
they don't look at that in the process?
So they don't have a centralized way of gathering all that data to make those kinds of decisions. They look at long grant proposals, they gather them together, they get feedback and
So it's just a
recommendations from
grant, it's
experts.
not like
Yeah.
your experience.
yeah,
that
yeah,
they're
you're
looking
just
at.
for the grant about the specific project that you're.
And you're saying
They gather that
a
together,
better
yeah.
indicator of success is your past experience?
Past experience, where you rate relative to your peers, what your
Okay.
trajectory has been, how much impact your papers have had in the field.
And how do
much
you know
more
that?
data.
Like, is it how often you've been cited?
So citation, so we gather data from many different sources. publication sources, funding sources, citations, messy data like from university websites. We gather that together and
And you
normalize
create like
it.
a profile.
Exactly.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So here's an example. You do a search for immunology. You can search, sort, filter by any criteria, select a person.
Some slick JavaScript right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and then
we
you
got
see a profile.
Shankar Ghosh. Okay.
Yep. So you can see where he ranks relative to his peers.
Interesting.
You can do comparisons to other
Now, did he
researchers.
opt into this, or did you
No,
just
so we
add him to this?
Yeah, that's a key.
It's a key thing because it's publicly available data, so we don't have an acquisition problem where we need these people to participate.
Is there any like privacy issues? with
No, it's
doing
public
that?
data.
Yeah.
It's
Fascinating.
mostly
And-
government funded, in fact.
Like,
by
have you
us.
done a subjective or qualitative check to make sure that like this makes sense? Like that this guy is actually better than Oliver
Well,
Hobart?
it's not necessarily better. It's according to what criteria interests you
Right.
that we let you.
Right,
compare
you
them.
slice and
Yeah.
dice it. accordingly.
Exactly. So we're not trying to give anyone a static list.
That's cool.
totally not the way
That's
these
really
data.
cool.
It's awesome. Yeah. So it's multi-parameter data, right? We have So an interesting thing that I would like to point out.
It reminds
is
me
if-
of like how when Facebook started, Mark Zuckerberg just gathered
Right.
everyone's data.
Exactly.
Like he kind of forced the network.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
you guys have effectively done that.
Yeah, exactly.
brilliant.
Where's the search? Oh, here we go. So just this card alone is gathering data that's never been combined. People's research interests, which we actually compute based on their abstracts and not on some archaic department.
Using
name.
natural
Yeah.
language processing.
Right. Citation and funding data, so publication and funding data together, demographic information, right?
Okay.
Pictures. So this whole idea of centralizing all this data allows you to explore these people in a way that is not this like one narrow thing. And
Yeah.
you can group and cluster an idea of group comparisons. And the really interesting thing is getting to a place like, let's say you wanted to fund young female researchers studying cancer or genetics.
Sorry guys, the tea bag broke.
No worries. So something like this would take you an insane amount of effort today.
Right.
There's no way to do that.
There's no way
you
to
have
do
to
that.
have a million tabs open, looking at many different data sources.
That's cool.
So once you have this data analytics platform, you can then build many different types of apps on top of it. One could be a funding app, for example.
Right.
So right now, a lot of funding happens through charities, super high overhead, very inefficient. You don't know what impact you're going to have with your donation. With this kind of model, you can find exactly what you care about, where you care about it, and give to them directly. That's one example. of
With
that.
charities. Specifically?
No,
or-
crowdfunding, just
Through
fund
us,
Through us.
crowdfunding, for example.
Oh, I don't understand how charities tie to this platform.
So instead of giving to a charity, so Livestrong is a classic example.
Yeah.
$500 million raised, almost none of it went to cancer research.
Ah.
People want to give to
Oh,
causes.
so you can tie
disrupt.
how charities are invested in scientific research.
We should disrupt charity entirely, meaning
Or
people could use this
You're saying
platform.
that's a separate category
Yeah.
that you can tackle afterward.
It's exactly.
Or is it part of
We're
this?
building a platform, so our focus, all of our work is about gathering this data and building an analytics layer.
I
From
see.
there, it's very.
You're
you
talking about the
openness.
platform approach.
Yeah,
Then you can
exactly.
see what charities are effective.
Yeah,
compare
down the
data.
road, there's a million things to
Livestrong
do.
raised this much money. This is how much is actually going to actual
Research.
research.
So we're saying
so that
instead of
that
giving-
data's available.
So no, what we're saying is instead of giving to cancer through Livestrong, you could do cancer searches on our platform, find the top people who are studying cancer, and then give to them directly through our platform, through a crowdfunding approach.
I see.
So once you have this platform, you can build all these different kinds of things.
Or just work with charities to.
Or they could use the
find-
tool, exactly.
So what's your challenge right now? What is keeping you guys up
Basically,
at night?
we're meeting customers, so academic department heads, pharma department heads, grant agencies. We have a lot of warm contacts. Meeting with them, getting them to pay a SaaS-based model.
Okay.
And
So this is not public. You have to pay to access.
we have
it.
a freemium model. A certain amount of data, like what we're showing you now, is going to be free.
Yeah.
But then we're going to have higher advanced analytics that we charge our SaaS fee.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are people saying? Are they buying?
So we're putting together a pilot program now, and it's going to be in place by December. 5 pilot members, working with 2 NYU departments. We're going to pay $5K a year for the pilot program. And yeah, the NYU departments are excited. We've done extensive interviews throughout the ecosystem. People
Yeah.
really need a tool like this, and they love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So
So
we'll
what,
have more
what
customer data to report.
What could I like help you guys with, or what kind of
So I saw
feedback could I give
saw
you
that you
guys?
worked with some citation solutions and that you
Yeah.
were in this space, like making easy citations, bibliography, research tools.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're very kind of familiar with this
the
kind of
citation stuff
Yeah.
for sure.
How did you get into that? Or
You know, I started this product called EasyBib
Uh-huh.
when I was 16,
Mhm.
just to automate citations.
Okay.
It was just a problem.
okay.
And then we ended up acquiring all the competition in our space over the course of like 8 years and learning how to acquire new customers, optimize revenue, and ultimately create a company that's well over 10 million in revenue.
Wow.
And then most recently we sold it.
So who were your customers mostly?
So we had a lot of individual consumers. We also had an institutional business.
Uh-huh.
And that institutional business, it was a tough business.
Mhm.
In the acquisition, we ended up shutting it down, but it was over $1 million in revenue. It was a multi-million-dollar business, but it wasn't profitable,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
Mm.
So I've had experience institutionally and
Mhm.
with consumers too.
So you like the consumer angle more? That was easier to grow.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I just like success
Mhm.
and learning or failing fast.
Mhm.
So it was good that we got into the institutional market and figured out that it was tough. And my regret there is we didn't fail fast.
Mhm.
You know, we kept on thinking we can make this happen, we can make this
Mhm.
happen, and
What
we
was
didn't
the biggest
absorb our-
challenge there with the institutions?
We weren't selling at a high enough price point to support a sales team,
Mhm.
Mm.
and our product didn't tie to clear outcomes for
Right.
the school. You know, when they want to buy something, you have to clearly show them how it's going to benefit
Right.
them, and it has to benefit them in a way that matters. And generally, that means I'm improving my test scores,
Right.
but my kids are going to get into college better. So with you guys, it seems like you have that formula. You can use our product, and you can increase the amount of grants you're getting by 20%.
Yeah.
Like if you can make that kind of statement, then
Right.
So phrasing
boom.
quantitatively in terms of like, or you can build a better team, you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in salaries for these researchers, so
Yeah.
you want to have the best team you can, so insight into picking the best
Yeah.
people, even
Like-
a little bit is a huge value add.
Exactly. Like you have to be solving a problem that keeps people up at night.
Right.
And you have to clearly show them how they're going to benefit from that.
Right.
And you want them to use your product and take it away and have them feel like, holy shit, I need that product. Why'd you take that away from me?
Right.
If they're fine without it, then
Right.
you're going to have to figure out how to create a better product.
Gotcha.
And it seems like you guys are on the right track. If you have these pilot programs, and if these guys say, God,
Yep.
I need this more, give it to me. Like I would really focus on making them really active, engaged users
Mhm.
in that process. Maybe that's sending emails to everyone in the
Right.
department saying, hey, this is where you stack up compared to your peers.
Right. Exactly.
Things like that.
Exactly.
I mean, I even think that approach could be really interesting.
Yep.
I got this email from some company that said, this competitor is getting leads right now.
Right.
It was actually a legit competitor of
Right.
ours and just got my attention.
Right.
But imagine if you're a researcher and you just get an email saying, this is how you stack up among
Right.
your peers.
Yep.
That's gonna get you.
Right.
That's gonna get your
Right.
attention, and you know everyone to
Right.
email.
Scientists are obsessed with that kind of data.
Yeah.
They love metrics. They've had to jump through a million different hoops to
Yeah.
get to where they are.
And even
So-
if you just give them updates like, hey, your score just bumped up, that's how you
Yeah.
can make it super, super
Yep.
addictive.
Yep.
So when I think of your product, I think of what are all the cues and habits you can create with it, because you have that data,
Mhm.
and it's data that ties to the ego. Right?
Right.
We're all egotistical.
Right.
We all care about how important we are,
Yeah.
especially researchers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you stroke that ego and show
Yep.
them they're super important? You guys have the right stuff to do that.
Yep.
Mhm.
Cool. So you sold EasyBib or Imagine Easy? Sold
Yeah,
also,
EasyBib
right?
was the first product that we had. We acquired a bunch of similar citation and research management tools and grew those as well. So we had a portfolio of these direct-to-consumer sites, and then we had institutional products too that helped with the writing process and writing skills.
Mhm, mhm.
And we ended up selling those businesses.
So what are you working on now?
So I'm an employee of Chegg now.
Okay.
Yeah, I have
Got
a
it.
boss.
Oh, Chegg bought you guys.
Chegg bought us.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah,
you're
I saw
based
the
here?
press release.
Yeah, we're based in New York, so the office we had here is now the Chegg office.
So you're kind of leading product development? Or?
Yeah, we run the business still. They thought we were solid operators, so
Mhm.
they wanted us to keep growing the business with them. So it was structured in a way where they wanted us to stick around.
With like autonomy within there.
Yeah, there's good enough autonomy, and they also have really smart guys, so we're learning a lot, and we like the team over there. And they have a team of data scientists. That's something we really never had before.
Cool.
So to be able to give them our citation data and understand more about our users and the connections among research, that's stuff we didn't have the in-house expertise to do before, and now it's opening up the doors.
So are they getting more into science, other types of applications? Like, would they be interested in something like this, or is it just strictly on the citation?
Right now,
management side?
Chegg's focus is high school through undergrad.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they're as focused on the academia market,
Okay.
like you guys. But I'm happy to ask and see if there's energy there.
So when you say you guys are selling institutions,
It seems
that
like
was-
this is a great fit for a mental day kind of product.
Uh-huh.
When you were saying institutions, so like what kind of
K-12 and
K-12,
college.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
citations for like undergrad papers then, or what?
Yeah, I mean, we found that our goal was just to make an intuitive citation and
Uh-huh.
research management tool.
Uh-huh.
So kids would use it as early as middle school, and people would use it
I
in
see.
college
I
and
see.
even grad school.
Okay, I wasn't even thinking about that early.
Yeah.
People citing that early.
Yeah, people start citing
Yeah.
and learning how to manage research as
Uh-huh.
early as middle school. And
Got
then
it, got it.
Once you use it at an early age, you just
Uh-huh.
keep on using it.
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
Cool.
That's really cool. So you did this throughout college? while you were-
Yeah, so I maintained it at Northwestern,
Wow.
and then I worked at Lehman Brothers after college. So I left like 8 months before the collapse. And that was because I never wanted to be an investment banker. My parents kind of pushed me towards that. And we had this company, Imagine Easy Solutions, and EasyBib, and it was growing, and we just had all these ideas, and we knew if we dedicated ourselves to it, to learning how to grow that business, we could do something with it. So we just bootstrapped it over 8 years. The team got to almost 60 in size, and then we had this event in May.
So
After
this,
growing
you
it.
started doing this after Lehman Brothers, but this, the 8 years that you're talking about is?
Yeah, I mean, I had the product while
Uh-huh.
I was doing banking, but no one was focused on it. And we always wanted to, but my parents wanted me to get a corporate job after paying that Northwestern tuition. They didn't understand what the product we had was and the vision we had. And then eventually when we focused on it, then we were able to grow
Awesome.
into a real business, which was a lot of fun.
So you got the I told you so.
Yeah, now I have the I told you so. They're happy, obviously.
Cool.
But it was fun, man. We learned a lot. We screwed up a lot. But that's like, everything's a shit show when you run a business, right? It has some ups and downs.
So we should learn to fail fast, sell at a high price point, and make sure to appeal to the ego and
Yeah.
the scientists.
Yeah, I think the next few months are going to be really interesting because you're going to find out how sticky your product is. And if it's sticky,
Yeah.
then you want those usage metrics. Like,
Right.
what are the daily active users?
Yep.
If people are dropping off and you look at that curve, you got to find out why.
Yep.
It's why for everything.
Yep.
And once you know that, then you'll be able to derive insights to tailor your product or understand if this is the right product for the problem that you're solving. But I suspect you guys have a lot of intuition because you're solving a problem for yourself.
Yep.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah, I hope
thank
that was
you very
helpful,
much.
guys.
Yeah,
That was,
definitely. It was.
pretty awesome what you
Thank
guys
you.
have built.
Thank you. We appreciate
Yeah.
it. And that was very helpful. Thanks.
Yeah,
Have a good one.
cool guys.
Thanks.
Take care.
Camera cuts.